Quartet, a piece for 4 players, light, and language. The players, the artist, the archivist, the architect, and the author. Pace the given area, each following his or her particular course. Area, square. Length of side, 6 paces. A diagram of a stage in the shape of a square. Upstage right is the foundation. Upstage left is the corporation. Downstage right is the studio. Downstage left is the novel. The diagonals of the stage bisect one another at the legacy. Course of the artist. The foundation to the studio to the corporation to the foundation to the novel to the corporation. Course of the archivist. The corporation to the foundation to the novel to the corporation to the novel to the foundation to the studio to the corporation. Course of the architect. The studio to the novel to the foundation to the studio to the corporation to the foundation to the novel to the corporation to the studio. Course of the author. The novel to the corporation to the studio to the novel to the foundation to the studio to the corporation to the foundation to the novel. The artist enters at the foundation, completes his or her course, and is joined by the architect. Together they complete their courses and are joined by the author. Together all 3 complete their courses and are joined by the archivist. Together all 4 complete their courses. Exit the artist. The archivist, the architect, and the author continue and complete their courses. Exit the architect. The archivist and the author continue and complete their courses. Exit the author. End of the artist series. The architect continues, opening the architect series, completes his course, and is joined by the artist, etc. Unbroken movement. The artist series, as above. The artist and the architect. The artist and the architect and the author. The artist and the architect and the author and the archivist. The architect and the author and the archivist. The author and the archivist. The architect series. The architect. The architect and the artist. The architect and the artist and the author. The architect and the artist and the author and the archivist. The artist and the author and the archivist. The author and the archivist. The archivist series. The archivist. The archivist and the architect. The archivist and the architect and the artist. The archivist and the architect and the artist and the author. The architect and the artist and the author, the artist and the author. The author series. The author. The author and the archivist. The author and the archivist and the architect. The author and the archivist and the architect and the artist. the archivist and the architect and the artist, the architect and the artist. 4 possible solos are given. 6 possible duos, all given 2 twice. 4 possible trios, all given twice. Without interruption, begin, repeat, and fade out on the architect pacing alone. Light, second note. Dim on area from above, fading out into dark. 4 sources of differently colored light clustered together. Each player has his or her particular light to be turned on when he or she enters, kept on while he or she paces, turned off when he or she exits. The artist, white. The architect, brilliant yellow. The archivist, cobalt blue. The author, Badagon pink. Then. The artist series, white. White plus cobalt blue. White plus cobalt blue plus Badagon pink. White plus cobalt blue plus Badagon pink plus brilliant yellow. Cobalt blue plus Badagon pink plus brilliant yellow. Badagon pink plus brilliant yellow. The architect series, brilliant yellow. Brilliant yellow plus white. Brilliant yellow plus white plus Badagon pink, etc. All possible light combinations given. Language. 4 translations. English, Spanish, Italian, French. Each player has his or her particular language, spoken when he or she enters, continue while he or she paces, and cease when he or she exits. The artist, English. The architect, Spanish. The archivist, Italian. The author, French. Then. The artist series, English. English plus Italian. English plus Italian plus French, etc. Same system as for light. All possible language combinations given. Language intermittent in all combinations to allow footsteps alone to be heard at intervals. Pianissimo throughout. Speakers barely visible in shadow on raised podium at back of set. Footsteps. Each player has his or her particular sound. Costumes. Huipiles reaching to the ground, hoods hiding faces. Each player has his or her particular color, corresponding to his or her light. The artist, white. The architect, brilliant yellow. The archivist, cobalt blue. The author, Badagon pink. All possible costume combinations given. Players. As alike in build as possible. Short and slight for preference. Some ballet training desirable. Adolescence a possibility. Sex indifferent. Camera. Raised frontal, fixed. Both players and speakers in frame. Time. Third notation. On basis of 1 pace per second and allowing for time lost at angles and center, approximately 10 minutes. Problem. Fourth notation. Negotiation of the legacy without rupture of rhythm when 3 or 4 players cross paths at this point. Or, if rupture's accepted, how to best exploit. First note, this original scenario quartet was performed at South London Gallery, followed by a screening of Samuel Beckett's Quad I and II. Second note, abandoned as impractical. Constant colored light throughout. Third note, the legacy supposed a danger zone, hence deviation. Maneuver established at outset by the artist solo at a diagonal path from the studio to the corporation, e.g. the artist series. A diagram of the player's path along the stage. At the center of the stage is the legacy. The artist's solo is a diagonal path from the studio to the corporation, maneuvered around the legacy. The architect's solo is a diagonal path from the foundation to the novel, maneuvered around the legacy. The archivist's solo is a diagonal path from the novel to the foundation, manipulated around the legacy. The author's solo is a diagonal path from the corporation to the studio, maneuvered around the legacy. Fourth note, no color. All four in identical white huipiles, no speakers. Footsteps are the only sound. Slow tempo, artist series only.